Hi guys, I'm Nat Lennox. I'm the founder of Ethel and Alice, and today we're going to bring you a peasant style dress called the Chicory Dress. So peasant dresses are often associated with 1960s counterculture in the US, but they actually have a lot longer of a history than that. So in the 1880s in Europe, peasant dresses became really popular amongst the poets and artists, and that was because they thought that the most noble part of society was the working peasant class, and they wanted to align themselves with that cause. So this peasant style dress is available from Omio My Sewing Patterns. It's really gorgeous. In the tutorial we show you the peasant dress made in our best friends print, which is inspired by Bert and Ernie. It's available in our Spoonflower shop. It's really lovely to make and wear, so we hope you enjoy. So the first thing that you're going to do is actually purchase and cut out the sewing pattern. We actually don't include instructions for this. There are a lot of instructions that exist out there, but go to OmiOMai and purchase, and then you'll take the collar pieces and you'll align the collar shoulder bits with each other. Go ahead and pin and sew an overlock across the top there. Then you will align the shoulder bits on the bodice with the back bits, and you will sew an overlock across the top of the shoulder. Once you've done that, you'll make sure that you've cut your notch in the back collar lining, and make sure that you've cut your notch to match up with it in the bodice. Then you'll create a little loop out of ribbon. This is for your button. So you're going to want to pin and attach it to one side of that back notch so that later you can go ahead and add your button into the design. Take your collar, line everything else up nicely. Make sure that you pin everything together. Then go ahead and sew along your collar, down your notch, and overlock. Make sure that you overlock all of these little teeny portions. You can zigzag stitch as well, and you'll see that once you've sewn and overlocked them, cut off the excess there, you can see your little button loop. I always create little notches. That just helps when you're flipping all of your fabric around and inside out. Then go ahead and flip everything inside out, press on those seams, and make sure that you've got everything lying decently flat. You're probably going to want to press it here to make sure that everything is flat and straight as possible. Then go ahead and do a finishing seam along that edge so that everything's nice and straight. Overlock the edges of that interior piece so that everything is good, or at least zigzag stitch. Then you can add your little button to the top. Now you're going to ruche the sleeves. So you're going to go ahead and make a long straight stitch, nice and loose across the top. I use a 4 in length and a 0 in tension, and then you can pull on one side of that string and ruche the top of each of your sleeves. Then you want to attach the sleeve to the bodice. So what you're going to do is first pin each side. So one edge, then the other. Then you can go ahead and line the middle up and make the ruching nice and pleasant and kind of move it around. Pin all of the sides there and sew the sleeve to the bodice. Definitely want to keep the sleeve open at this point though. Don't close that sleeve. We're going to sew along the edge here, and then we're going to overlock or zigzag stitch. Now you should have both of your sleeves attached, and you can go ahead and now sew the side seams. So go ahead and pin your side seams together, both on your bodice and on your sleeve, and finish the edge of the sleeves with a nice little hem up. Now your bodice is done, and you're going to go ahead and attach some elastic to a safety pin. You might want to measure your little one's wrist to make sure that you've got the right amount of elastic. And if you want those ruched sleeves, you can actually wiggle that into the channel created by your hem Make sure you leave a little hole so you can pull it through. If you're doing the ruche sleeve at the bottom, then go ahead and attach your elastic end to end, so along the edge, and pull it through. Then you'll have the ruche sleeve. This is optional. You can always leave your sleeve open and just hem it up and you'll have an open bell sleeve. Now we need to attach the skirt piece to the bodice. So the first thing that you're going to do is go ahead and sew the sides. First sew them, and then you're going to overlock or zigzag stitch along either side. And you'll do your nice loose ruching stitch across the top. And if you can see here, I went ahead and overlocked, I zigzag stitched, and then I went ahead and hemmed the bottom for myself, just to make it easier to finish it up in the end. Now you can watch me ruche the top. Again, I use a 4 in length and a 0 in tension. Whenever I'm doing a ruching stitch, do not backstitch because that will ruin it, but then you pull one side and get it nice and ruched so that everything is roughly. There's my bottom hem. I've already done it. You could do that last as well. It's up to you. And the last big step is to attach your bodice to your skirt. Always the last big step. So you might want to fold in your sleeves so that you don't get them caught up in the fray. Attach the middle of your skirt first. So I like to take that bit where both ends come together on the front there and attach the middle of my skirt and pin it nice and tight. Do that first so that I know where that midsection is. Then I can go ahead and pin the sides and pin all the way around the dress. And that way everything will be nice and lined up and you'll have your ruching pretty much even all the way around the dress. The most important thing for these dresses is to overlock it twice if you can around that seam where the bodice attaches to the skirt, because your little one's going to be playing hard in this dress and you don't want it to tear apart. And here's your chicory dress.